Well, let's go into today's development news of the week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. If you want to stop by the office, it's at 114th and Davenport. If you want to virtually stop by, it's at eaglemortgagecompany.com. Either way, it's early April. A lot of people are getting very serious about buying a house this time of year. One of the first steps you want to do is talk to Holly Schneiderwin or one of her team members at Eagle Mortgage. They do a great job helping you with your version of the American dream, conventional loans, FHA, VA, they do all of that. And you want to make sure before you go into the house hunting derby that you are armed and ready with a pre-approval letter from Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com.
Almost sounds illegal. Armed and ready.
Armed and ready. Armed and dangerous.
In a good way.
Well, we had a nice piece of development news out of North Omaha yesterday. It was a press conference with Mayor Stothert and the retired principal of Omaha North High School, along with officials from the YMCA and OPS. This is really cool. We've got a new football stadium going to be constructed for North High, the Vikings. Currently, they have been, for the last many years, using different school football stadiums. They're going to have their own. It will be open in 2027, just east of the high school, right there at approximately 35th and Ames Street. Very cool, though. It's going to be a joint venture with the YMCA. There is a YMCA location just to the east of North High known as Butler Gast YMCA. That will be completely rebuilt, and it'll actually be attached to the new stadium, so it'll be a joint use thing. And so the high school kids will play their games there. The YMCA kids will have their youth tournaments there. The rendering is going to show up on growomaha.com as one of our stories here later today. And it's a real nice step forward for Northeast Omaha.
And thank you very much. One of the biggest stakeholders in North Omaha for a long time, for decades, is Logier Foundation. And they're a lead donor on that with other partners. And I'm going to make a prediction. This is Trenton Magid. I don't have any concrete evidence, but given that the Logier family, who's been a stalwart in all of Omaha, thank you, Diane Logier, and all kinds of people that run the organization, I have a feeling that another big contributor to North Omaha and throughout the community is the Sherwood Foundation and Susie Buffett, Warren Buffett's daughter. I have a feeling that she has big projects in the work. Her father, the amazing Warren Buffett, 94 years old. And I'll guess that she wants to have a namesake development. Let's see what happens.
I hope you're right. Well, a vacant building at 2211 Douglas Street is slated for redevelopment. It had, not too many years ago, been known as the 402 Hotel. Before that, it was an Econo Lodge Hotel. Currently, it's an eyesore. It's a three-story building. The first level has plywood covering doors and windows. It had been used right after the pandemic by Together, the local organization, as a non-congregate shelter. It was, kind of one of those things during and right after the pandemic. It's only 20,000 square feet, so it's not a big building, built in 1964. Cool thing is, though, it's coming down. It's going to be demolished. The other cool thing is that it is going to be redeveloped. Along Front Porch Investments, along with Together, sought developers through an RFP process earlier this year. Lincoln-based Hoppy Development plans to build a 73-unit mixed-income senior housing community with more than half of the units affordable to households earning at or below 60% of the area median income. Downtown Omaha could really use that.
Interesting how you call it a hotel when it's probably more of a motel.
Well, when it was an Econo Lodge, it was definitely a motel, but the official name of it when it was the 402 Hotel was the 402 Hotel.
Yes, sir.
So if that's what they name it, that's what I call it. Demolition of the existing structure is anticipated to occur this summer, so we don't have to wait too long to get rid of it. And construction should begin about a year from now, spring of 2026. And pending approvals, the first residents could move in by the fall of 2027. So more progress in the downtown area. Now, Trenton, speaking of progress in the downtown area, good news, the Baby Bob Bridge is officially open.
I want my baby Bob, baby Bob, baby Bob.
For public use. There was a soft opening last week. There are still a couple little fine-tuning construction items pending, so they haven't done the big ribbon cutting or anything like that. But, of course, the Baby Bob connects the Bob Carey pedestrian bridge over the river to North Downtown on the north side of the Chi. Okay, we have another redevelopment effort for an eyesore former hotel. Another developer is stepping to the plate and going to take a swing at the old Exarban Suites Hotel, 7270 Cedar Street. You might, if you are an old-timer or a long-time Omahan, remember this. Opened in, I think it was the late 70s as the Granada Royale.
And then it became Doubletree?
Embassy Suites, and then it was Doubletree, I believe, but it was an Embassy Suites for a long time. But the Granada Royale, there weren't too many of them in America. In fact, I was in Scottsdale a few years ago, driving on Scottsdale Road, and I about slammed on the brakes because I saw a building. I'm like, that was a Granada Royale. You can just tell one when you see them. At any rate, it's been vacant for a long time. Back in 2021, a multifamily developer began the process of rezoning that closed hotel into a residential unit, but it stalled out. This week, the planning board is reviewing tax increment financing application for $3.5 million. The total renovation cost would be about $21 million. Plans call for 197 studio units. They would be small, 550 square feet and 650 square feet. But if they're nice, I bet they lease like hotcakes. Construction is expected to begin already this July.
Good location.
Yeah, and it's right there. Well, that whole area, I mean, the apartment construction in that whole greater Exarban area is
crazy. You got
crazy.
the Drover next door.
You could go to the Drover, and there's nothing wrong with that. Girls Inc. plans to open a recreational and services facility north of South High School's football stadium. Now, this property pretty much has nothing on it. It's just a grassy area between Missouri Avenue and K Street. The rezoning and special permit application shows plans for a two-story, 40,000 square foot building. It would have a surface parking lot and an outdoor play area. The facility would have a health and wellness space, an indoor gym, other amenities. Now, Girls Inc. was founded in North Omaha in 1975. They now serve about 1,000 girls and young women a year. Their headquarters is not too far from 45th and Ames, but they do have an existing South O location, which is known as the Emma Logier Center at 5407 South 30th Street. You know, this is just right off that 24th Street corridor,
yep,
which also has been doing great. And we know that there are all sorts of plans in the works for new amenities right in the heart of Old South O at 24th and N. So the entire area seems to really be doing great. Well, the developer behind the Urban Waters Apartments at Prairie Queen Lake and Papillion has plans to build another water-adjacent apartment project. This one, though, would be in far west Omaha. So far west that it would be in a marina or by a marina right by Salted Edge Restaurant. So that's pretty far west. And the planning board documents show plans for a 124-unit apartment complex in the West Shores Lake community. It would consist of two 4-story buildings, like I said, right by the marina near Salted Edge Restaurant.
The neighbors are loving it.
The first floor of each building would be enclosed parking, with the upper 3 floors having apartments, including 67 one-bedroom and 57 two-bedroom units. And just like that other one walking to the Drover, these folks can walk to the Salted Edge.
It's not a bad deal.
Construction is underway on the Primrose School of Elkhorn. The address is 19401 South HMS Cleveland Boulevard. Now, that address is a mouthful.
Yeah.
19401 South HMS Cleveland Boulevard
is all over West Omaha. It meanders.
Yeah, and the goal, as I understand it, is for it to someday be completely connected. That someday is probably a long ways away because there's lots of things that are in the way that still have to be developed. But at any rate, if you're wondering where is 19401 South HMS Cleveland Boulevard, it's just southwest of the 192nd and West Dodge Expressway interchange. So in that area, you have the recently opened Bankers Trust building, They are a Grow Omaha sponsor, by the way. And also the fairly recently opened MD West 1 building. And so it's kind of that area just west of what we call Avenue 1, which is part of that Good Life District. So a lot of things happening in that area. Trenton, we've got one last story for today's news segment, and that is the Omaha Economic Development Corporation will host a grand opening and ribbon cutting ceremony for Larimore Senior Housing on May 31st at 34th and Larimore Avenue. This is formerly an old Emmanuel Hospital before the current Emmanuel Hospital. It was remodeled by Boyd Jones Construction, 45-unit senior living complex, aims to boost affordable housing for low and moderate income residents in Omaha's neighborhood revitalization strategy areas. The facility will feature an internal theater, a large kitchen area to serve individuals with special needs.
They're going to have a lot of soft carrots there, I bet.
If there are a lot of old people, they tend to have soft carrots, but you forgot something important.
I miss my grandma.
Jell-O salad.
Oh, no, thank you.
And with that, we wrap up your development news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.